Would be something ridiculously special.
That's in the tier.
Saunders with that. Could turn it into an uppercut.
You know, Carl, the biggest 4% of the punches that Saunders lands beyond the jab to win this fight.
Eddie Reynoso and Canelo said that we're going to take him out in the work they put in.
Notice Canelo's style changes when he fights the south.
Doesn't want to throw anything because he knows that just out of range.
And you can tell the crowd will roar every time.
With the judges, that did look aggressive.
Saunders looking veteran move on Saunders' part.
Of course, also in the United Kingdom, good morning.
Heavy body shot landed by Canelo.
Look at that big body shot. To him, he's trying to get behind that jab.
So let's see if they pick up the pace here in the second.
If he can keep...
You know, I was talking to Austin Trout this morning. In and out and try to time Canelo when he moves in. You have to do it for 12 rounds.
Straight right hand connects.
Relentless.
Let him go, son.
He's going to do what I think he's going to do. However, after all the trash...
I don't know if you guys can see one Billy Joe. Almost immediately.
And Carl, anytime a southpaw fights in orthodox,
you know, sometimes standing on the foot happens and he's fearful. He's got to concentrate constantly, but he's not really.
Oh, there's a right hand that moves him.
And there it is again, to the body.
Here they are. So too is Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Mannix.
But in that second round, you saw Canelo.
Each of Canel's from one another. Between to his success really isn't a secret. It's hard 22-foot ring as he suggested.
Billy Joe needs to be busy with the jab and punch effects instantly. You can tell Billy Joe is worried about what's instantly from Billy Joe, and that's when the guy knows.
Up on that right hook to the body and the head.
The heavy blows from Canelo. He's putting lots into these, and here these shots, they're heavy.
In his division, he didn't throw many of them against.
Get your opponent scared to throw.
Off the rope, Sergio, you said that would be one of his keys.
Well, of course the jab is key as well. And that they want out of Canelo lands on the side of the head.
And Billy Joe Saunders, at least through the first 3 rounds.
What would you like to see him do differently?
More of that. I like to see these end of these big shots because Canelo will be happy to just.
Now he's throwing more power.
Saunders needs to double and triple up that jab. Back up, Canelo.
Don't just sit there and soak up these big counters.
So we can't run in this fight. We got to slide and glide.
Title back in 2019. We're in round 4, scheduled for 12. Just missing with that.
That just missed the chin of Billy Joe Saunders.
And from Canelo to the body as well.
There's the uppercut.
From Billy this round, though, he's put more shots together. What we're seeing here is a nice little short uppercut.
Billy Jones Jr. for his thoughts on what we've seen so far.
Commanded a lot of respect with his power shots to the body. With that same power that he's feeling on his arm.
And I agree with control the distance and landing some good shots.
They eventually catch up with you. And there's another one. A great jab from Saunders. See, if he can do more of them double jabs, then.
And Saunders has this lethal left uppercut. He steps back.
But Billy Joe Saunders told us.
Clever. I mean, he uses the pivots, he uses angles. He's
all right now, Chris Mannix, but he's fighting with confidence.
That Billy Joe Saunders has ever fought in.
He's a little relentless.
You know, Canelo.
20 seconds to go in this round.
Heavy punches and big shots.
Look at that big,
well balanced, and that was a nice little cheeky shot.
Joe, do you feel the momentum changing, or do you think it's a one?
Now, this is what you need to see with such a
over these last 2 rounds of taking them
to Canelo, because I gave close round. Can't argue for went the other way, but I'm now a puncher who wants to back the boxer up, looking for the big shot. There you go, the big heavy shot, nice defense.
Swing and a miss by Canelo. You don't see him miss doing the job defensively. Caught him with a quick
jab, just like that.
Smart jab, yeah. Don't get too confident, but not busy because he's not being put under relentless pressure from pressure. Billy Joe Saunders can relax until that too.
Landed on the chin.
Saunders to the crowd.
But that's what can turning explosive counter puncher Canelo is. See, Saunders stopped throwing the jab here. He stopped Canelo, but catch and counter if you're Billy.
7 scheduled for 12. This is for the unified. This would be a walkover for Canelo. It has not.
Catch and count in the last round with that body shot and then up to the head. So yeah.
More than any opponent I've seen since Gennady Golovkin. He's throwing.
Let's bring in Roy Jones Jr. again. Roy, what are you seeing?
Punches. He's landing that jab effectively. He hit just a little bit, and Canelo needs.
Uppercut from Canelo.
When you face Canelo Alvarez, as we talked, almost in an instant, but Billy Joe saw it incredibly effective.
Roy Jones.
For Canelo to land a big shot.
The work output of Billy finding a rhythm for me.
I think that's when he fights his best.
Stadium. Super middleweight championship. Canelo can spit.
I think he's definitely trying to figure it out.
That matter, predicted they would stop Saunders.
If Canelo is going to rely on punch.
I agree.
Rounds.
68-66.
So look at the last couple of rounds, Carl, and you see
his troops here at AT&T Stadium.
Down opponents and makes them weary of.
Well, that's the power from Canelo.
He predicted a KO in round 8 or 9.
In the distance instead of countering back.
So perhaps order has. Canelo acting like he's up. Fights. It is over. Canelo.
You don't know what it is, and you have to be careful.
The unified super of the world in Guadalajara. Canelo